Hello everyone, my name is Wanda and I'm with the Alpha Park Library. Welcome to Mini Melodies, our story time aimed at kids ages 3 to 6. So today's story time is all about magic. And when I think about magic, I normally think about unicorns and really cool things like that. So take out your lesson plans and follow along. As always, we're going to start with You'll Sing a Song and I'll Sing a Song. Here we go. You'll sing a song and I'll sing a song. And we'll sing a song together. You'll sing a song, and I'll sing a song in warm or wintry weather. Okay, let's go again. You'll sing a song, and I'll sing a song, and we'll sing a song together. You'll sing a song, and I'll sing a song in warm or wintry weather. Okay, awesome. So our next song is going to be I've Got a Magic Raincoat. And it's to the tune of I'm a little teapot, short and stout. So if you know the tune, make sure that you follow along, okay? I've got a magic raincoat, what can it do? Here is my rain hat, here are my boots. I've got a magic raincoat, what can it do? It covers me from the rain and looks really cute. Okay, let's go again. Got a magic raincoat, what can it do? Here is my rain hat, here are my boots. I've got a magic raincoat, what can it do? It covers me from the rain and looks really cute. Okay, so that leads into our first book, which is going to be The Magic Raincoat by Ryan David. So let's see what her magic raincoat does. Emily got a new raincoat. It was bright orange and it had clasps and buttons and zippers and straps and buckles and at least 7 pockets. But she was mad because she had asked for a yellow raincoat. When Emily put it on, it didn't fit. It was way too big. So she yelled, "I wish it fit me." Her mama turned around and said, "That fits you perfectly, dear." Sure enough, the coat had become smaller and smaller until it fit her perfectly. Emily blinked in surprise and thought there must be something special about this raincoat. So she decided to wear it all day. Later on, her little brother was playing with her doll, so she stamped her foot and yelled, "I wish you were a dog!" And just then, he turned into a dog. That's when Emily realized she had a magic raincoat. So she tightened the clasps and buttoned the buttons, zipped the zippers and tied the straps, and said, "I wish I had $1 million." What do you think happened? Instantly, 2 men in black suits showed up at her door. They unlocked a briefcase and said, "Your money, Miss Emily." She carried the briefcase to her room and said, "I wish I had a purple gorilla." Just then, a truck pulled up the driveway and out stepped a gorilla, dressed in a fine purple silk robe and carrying a purple umbrella. So Emily said, "I wish Daddy were home all the time." And her daddy came home from work, shaking his head and sighing. "Would you believe my boss just fired me?" Mama was very sad. And they ate plain pasta for dinner that night and burnt cookies for dessert. So you gotta be careful what you wish for, huh? Emily decided right then that she would use her magic raincoat only for good causes. So she told the raincoat to give her daddy his job back. Then Emily turned the dog back into her little brother. She slept well that night, dreaming of flying ice cream cones and warm blackberry pie with chocolate sauce. But the next morning, her raincoat was gone. "Where's my raincoat?" Emily asked. Her mama smiled, took out a new yellow raincoat, and said, "You wanted a yellow one, and our neighbor girl, May, wanted an orange one. So I traded with May's mother last night." Just then, Emily looked out the window and saw the neighbor's car turn into a boat. I've got to stop that raincoat, thought Emily. But by the time Emily arrived at May's house, May had already turned her little brother into a penguin. So Emily explained that it was a magic raincoat, and she and May agreed that magic raincoats were too special to wear all day. Emily gave May the yellow raincoat and changed May's penguin back into her little brother. Then Emily carried the orange raincoat home. She carefully hung it in her closet and decided it would be best to save it for a rainy day. That's pretty magical, wasn't it? It'd be really cool to have a magic raincoat. Okay, so next we have a poem, and this poem is about unicorns. So it's the 5 Little Unicorns. I saw 5 little unicorns, creatures from folklore. I watched the blue one prance away, and then there were 4. I saw 4 little unicorns resting by a tree. I watched the orange one prance away, and then there were 3. I saw 3 little unicorns, but as I drew near, the green one pranced away, and then there were 2. I saw 2 little unicorns. I watched them run and run. The red one pranced away, and then there was 1. I saw a lonely purple unicorn standing in the sun. When I blinked my eyes, it pranced away, and then there were none. Okay, let's go again. I saw 5 little unicorns, creatures from folklore. I watched the blue one prance away, and then there were 4. I saw 4 little unicorns resting by a tree. I watched the orange one prance away, and then there were 3. I saw 3 little unicorns, but as I drew near, the green one pranced away, and then there were 2. I saw 2 little unicorns. I watched them run and run. The red one pranced away, and then there was 1. I saw a lonely purple unicorn standing in the sun. When I blinked my eyes, it pranced away, and then there were none. Okay, this ties in with our craft this week, which is a unicorn that you can design and put gems on. You can make a really cool unicorn or a really cute one. I think unicorns are really cool, personally. Okay, so now we're going to read our second story, which is called Margarets Unicorn. My whole world changed when we moved to a faraway place, to a cottage in the mountains, to be near Grandma. Everything smelled different and strange, and the house was full of empty spaces. The first afternoon, Dad said, "Margaret, why don't you go exploring? By the time you come back, your new room will look just like your old room, I promise." Mom put hot chocolate in a thermos. "Be careful not to go farther than the big stone," she said, and gave me a kiss. When I reached the big stone at the end of our garden, I saw the sea spread out before me. A heavy fog was traveling through the sky, and soon the water was covered in mist. No, that wasn't mist. It was clouds. No, they weren't clouds. They were white horses. No, not horses, unicorns. Then they were leaping into the air, swept up by the wind, and in a blink, they were gone. I started to run back to tell Mom and Dad when I heard a snuffling noise. I tiptoed closer and closer, down a little dip where something silvery lay tangled in the weeds. "A baby!" I gasped. Carefully, I freed him, then wrapped him in my coat. When I got home, Grandma was at the door. She'd come by to help us unpack. "I didn't think there were any left," she said. I told her all about the herd that had flown past me. "When I was a little girl," she said, smiling, "we would watch the unicorns fly off to Unicorn Island on the last summer wind." Grandma told me everything she knew about unicorns. They only eat flowers, but there aren't enough here to feed them all year round. Every spring, I would wait for them to come back and eat the young heather and thistles that grow across the mountains. I looked out our cottage window. There were hardly any flowers to be seen. "What will we feed him?" I said. Grandma thought for a moment. "Let's go," she said. We jumped into the car and headed into town. At a small shop, we bought bunches of flowers for my little unicorn. When we got home, we fed him. What do unicorns drink? I asked Grandma. Water that has been touched by moonlight, she explained. It's what makes their horns glow in the dark. It's what gives them their magic. I stroked my unicorn's mane, and Grandma and I fished pillows out of the moving boxes to make him a cozy nest near my bed. After Mom and Dad had finished unloading the boxes, they came in to find us with my little unicorn. Mom knelt beside him, and he nuzzled her hand. That night, Dad and I pulled on our boots and headed out to the hills. As soon as the moon touched the stream, we filled buckets with water and carried them home. The water glowed in our dark garage. My unicorn drank as we watched him, amazed. When I went to sleep, I let the little unicorn climb into bed with me, and I stroked his speckled coat. My unicorn whimpered. I was so excited to have found him, I'd forgotten how scared he must be. It's okay, I whispered. Spring will be back in no time. The next day, my unicorn and I went for a walk. We crunched through the leaves and caught them as they floated down from the trees. I picked up a horse chestnut, opened it carefully, and touched its soft inside, which felt like a little fairy fur coat. That evening, we watched the stars come out before heading to bed. They seemed so much brighter here than in our old town. By the time all the trees were bare, my little unicorn had grown comfortable in our cottage. One of our favorite things to do was to go to the beach and chase the waves. The white foam looked like unicorns, rolling and disappearing in the sandy shore. Then we'd race home with cold fingers and toes, and hooves. A fire, I tell my unicorn, is the best thing to cozy up to. We'd curl up together and listen to the rain tap, tap, tap on the window. Isn't that the loveliest sound, I'd say? By Christmas, we decorated the tree, and the house was filled with smells of our old home. When it snowed for the first time, my unicorn was dazzled by it, and by how quiet everything became. We walked down the road and stomped on the frozen puddles. Together, we made a snow unicorn. Dad broke off an icicle that hung from the roof, and we gave it a crystal horn. I was missing our old home less and less. The weather grew warmer, and I saw buds appear on the trees and green shoots start to push up through the ground. Yellow gorse and dandelion flowers started to bloom in the hills. Soon, I knew, my unicorn's family would come back, and he would leave. When a unicorn is your friend, you wish spring would stay far away. On the first day of spring, as we sat on the hill, the unicorns floated down from the sky like snowflakes. Slowly, one of them, with chocolate brown eyes and a soft pink nose, drew close. My unicorn skipped toward her and leaned against her white coat. He nuzzled her cheek, and I knew this must be his mother. It was time to say goodbye to my unicorn. Please don't forget me, I whispered into his silky ear as I hugged him tightly. Now spring has come and gone, and the days have grown longer. I've made some new friends, but I do still miss my unicorn. One day, we went walking over the hills, Mom and Dad and Grandma, my friend Abby, and me. As Abby and I were searching for bugs in the tall grass, something nudged my arm, and I turned in surprise. It was my unicorn. He had grown so much already and lost his baby coat. When he raised his head, he was taller than me, wild and beautiful. I plucked a sprig of heather from its stem and held out my palm. Cautiously, my unicorn ate it from my hand, watching me with his dark eyes. His ears flicked back and forth, listening to all around him. I wanted to reach out and touch him. He took one more flower, and then he must have heard something, or maybe I moved too quickly, because he turned and galloped away in an instant. I scrambled a few paces after him and watched him disappear into the mountains. He was gone. I turned to Abby, who had looked on in amazement. That was an old friend, I said. Mom called. It was time to head home, through the heather and the thistles, to our cottage in the mountains. The end. So I thought that was a very sweet and magical story about friendship. Okay, so our last song is all about unicorns. And it's to the tune of, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. So follow along, okay? If you're a unicorn and you know it, shake your horn, shake, shake. If you're a unicorn and you know it, shake your horn, shake, shake. If you're a unicorn and you know it, then your magic will surely show it. If you're a unicorn and you know it, shake your horn, shake, shake. Okay, one more time. You're a unicorn and you know it, shake your horn, shake, shake. You're a unicorn and you know it, shake your horn, shake, shake. You're a unicorn and you know it, then your magic will surely show it. If you're a unicorn and you know it, shake your horn, shake, shake. Okay, thank you so much for watching today's story time. I hope you had fun hearing about magic and unicorns, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.